Hey, how's it going? Today is 27th of July, Saturday, and we are taking a look at the market, what kind of opportunities we can find. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at energy sector. So it's something that's really important. And we're going to be taking a look at UK, Europe, and projection where things are moving. But first, we can take a look at some of the progress that Lithuania is making when it comes to we're gonna be taking a look at when we're taking a look at energy. We're gonna be taking a look at one of the sources that will be LNG, or in other words, natural gases, right? Which was very cheap to purchase from Russia, but as of now, some of the European countries like Lithuania are making a lot of changes when it comes to cutting off entire supplies of LNG coming from Russia. So I was taking a look at statistics, so let's begin perhaps the percentages, all these kind of things. I don't know what's smart, as well as we're going to be taking a look at GDP and what kind of impact that will have on the overall performance of the output of the government, since there's a lot of things to cover, right? Let's begin. Lithuania cuts off Russian gas imports, urges EU to do the same. That Lithuania says that it has cut itself off entirely of the gas imports from Russia, apparently becoming first of European Union's 27 nations using Russian gas to break its energy dependence upon Moscow, right? It's something that was published some time ago, 2022, as well as there are some contracts in place, right? Some of the governments would enter into contracts to purchase natural gases, perhaps for 5 years or something. So while we take a look at this article, there's a lot of facts, so we will not necessarily have enough time to people should respect contracts, right? But perhaps do not renew those contracts, as well as we're going to be perhaps taking a look at the market of where those gases can be purchased from, right? Let's begin. I haven't read this article. I hope there would be a lot of data, hard data. Not necessarily there would be a lot of political statements. I'm not looking to get political, right? Latvia, Lithuania said it says it cuts itself off entirely of the gas imports from Russia, apparently becoming first European Union's 27 nation using Russian gas to break its energy dependence upon Moscow. Okay. There's a lot of statements being made by people that we can potentially skip those. Lithuania has managed to reduce imports from Russia gas to zero on Saturday, to move seen as a milestone in achieving energy independence in former Soviet Republic country of 2.8 million, the minister said. Because it's, I think the gases are very cheap, so I don't know what's gonna happen, right? If they will cut entirely. I don't know about prices and what of the impact that might have, right? But either way, in 2015, nearly 100% of Lithuania's gas supplies derived from imports from Russia gas, but the situation has changed describably over the past 10 years. The country built offshore LNG import terminal launched in 2014 in the port of Klaipėda, right? So from 100% to cut down to I think it's 2%, but depending on what statistics are we looking for, but very low. Perhaps they're keeping something, perhaps there isn't any. And some of the data I'm looking at, it will be 2 years old, right? Last year, some of 26% of Lithuania's gas supplies delivered from deliveries from Russia gas pipeline, with 62 came via Klaipėda LNG terminal, and the remaining 12% were imported from gas storage neighboring Latvia, right? We can close on that. Let's progress to other articles, right? Let's take a look at UK's involvement in entire operations, right? So if we need to move liquefied natural gases, we can take a look at how UK's businesses are doing, right? That's a different statistics that I'm taking a look at, or a different article that the ministry reported that in 2022, so 2 years ago, 65% of LNG or liquefied natural gases came from United States, 30% came from Norway, and 3% from Egypt, and 2% from Russia, right? and that would amount to 36 cargo were delivered to a terminal by conventional size gas carriers compared to 15 cargo a year earlier, right? So let's take a look at those cargoes, right, and how some of those businesses in the UK selling those cargoes, right? Let's take a look at that. We can briefly take a look at some of the businesses since it's private businesses for profit, so some of those companies, right? I'm not looking to affect the stock prices or anything. It's just that we can take a look at the 7th of November 2023 and how market is performing when it comes to orders for some of those vessels, right? That would be Babcock. LNG business, the world's leader in marine liquefied gas solutions, has seen significant success so far this year after winning more than 40 contracts, and delivering more than 50 projects. Some of those businesses are doing okay. I can only imagine how much money that would be, right? So once that been said, let's progress and let's take a look at other articles and how perhaps let's take a different angle and let's take a look at the EU performance when it comes to GDP and borrowing of money. I think that would be important, and let's reflect on where the money is moving and who is making so much money and who's borrowing a lot, right? So something that was published yesterday, that review formally opens deficit proceedings against 8 member states, since perhaps some of those countries are borrowing a lot, right? And not necessarily I'm interested in covering entire article. It's something that was published yesterday, and within this article we can take a look at the graph. Perhaps that's a different way to approach it. Within the graph there will be different colors, right? And if we are taking a look at UK is not a part of EU, but as of now Lithuania is in green, but would purchasing liquefied natural gases, which I believe is about 4 times more expensive. 4 times. Hopefully there would be something, right, where we can reduce some of the costs, because otherwise it would be just a matter of moving from green into red. So it's just a matter of time, right? So either way, let's take a look at a couple other articles where we're gonna be taking a look at energy production and perhaps how entire market is gonna be moving towards hydrogen, right? So if it's not liquefied natural gases, we can take a look at perhaps hydrogen. Or we can stick with LNG, actually. Or let's stick to LNG and perhaps let's touch on if, as of now, UK would build capabilities of moving LNG, right? So it's something that UK is focusing on. We can take a look at how perhaps, not right now, I think right now UK is not exporting energy. But perhaps in the future, right? Let's touch. I haven't read it about fracking and what's happening within the UK, and I heard the ban was lifted, so perhaps they can begin produce surplus energy and export energy, right? Since there might be demand even in the EU, right? It's something that we have learned yesterday, right? That could be oil prices, right? So since there was a massive influx of oil in the market, and within UK's market, they're keeping the prices the same. So once that been said, let's take a look at fracking, and perhaps if at any point if UK would decide to move a lot of LNG and or sell it on the market, would LNG prices would go down? I wish, right? That would be a fracking ban lifted, government announces. Let's take a look at this article. I haven't read it. Perhaps that would be important and see what UK's plans are. Fracking can go ahead in England, and government said on Thursday lifting a ban on controversial processes. A memorandum was put in place in 2019 following concerns over earth tremors. okay. Or whatever is perhaps happening across the world in some of those governments who begin using fracking as a way of extracting resources, right, from under the ground. But with energy crisis worsening globally and world's leaders crumbling to secure energy supplies, the question has been reopened. The decision comes alongside the publications of the new scientific review into practiced by British Geological Surveys. Okay. The BGS has concluded there is still a limited understanding of the impact of such drilling, a way of mining gas and oil from sheer rock, right? Okay, so there might be something, right? We're moving into politics, and not necessarily I'm interested in taking a look at that, but let's skip that and progress perhaps. Just let's focus on the point of fracking, why we need to get into politics. Fracking of the case has been a controversial subject, which local communities and among AMPs due to its association with minor earthquakes. Nobody likes earthquakes. In 2019, at oil and or gas exploration company, there's a name of, I don't know this company, a fracking site in Lancashire, more than 120 tremors were recorded. 120, okay. All true, most were too small to be felt, right? But they've been recorded, right? Alongside the announcement of Thursday of the government's published new review commission in April from British Geological Survey, which considers that changes the science around the practices, right? Okay, so that's the point, right? So we're looking to increase gas output, right? And there's a lot of demand in the market currently for gases, right? There's a lot of information and this research has been done, but I'm not interested in covering this article. It just 120 seems like a big number. That's the only thing I'll say. But including some of those governments in Europe and their performance as well as market prices of LNG as of now, things can be better, I guess. That's where I'm going with it. Let's close that. Thanks for watching. See you next one.